Thanks for joining me for week 2. It's pretty cool to hear how many people have been inspired by my ultra journey and are really interested to see what my week 2 aha moment has been. And just before I tell you what it is, I just want you to make sure that when you're listening to my ultra journey and my takeaways and ahas, that you think about it in the context of what one of your ultras could be. It doesn't mean running 84 kilometers like I'm going to do from one side of Bali to the other. What is that thing, that experience, that maybe a thing, maybe a relationship? What is that thing that slightly terrifies you, but there's a big part of you, I call it whispering in your soul, that you would dearly love to think you could have a crack at? I want you to think about that in context with what I'm sharing about my journey. Okay, so this one is a cracker, because those of you who know me will have a few giggles about what this whole aha is about, because it's very much identity-based in week 2, and it's 2 elements of my leveling up process. It was about I've had to literally have a long, hard think about mastering my biology, and I learned a bit about my biology this week I didn't even know about. And in the process of learning to master this, I have had to clean up some serious crap around my identity. Okay, so I want to set the scene for you. It was, I suppose, the scene of the crime. So it was on Saturday. I had my absolutely beautiful family around and 2 of their partners. We were celebrating our eldest daughter's graduation from university, and it was very special on so many fronts, particularly also because Lily's partner, Toby, who is a absolutely cracking man, came up with an idea that all the kids and my husband would do a bit of a cook-off, and they would cook off for Bella, who he named Queen Bee, saying that I had provided the food all year round, so why don't these guys provide the food, which was an incredibly thoughtful and fun opportunity. So we, as usual in our family, we relished what this opportunity was. And me being me, I took it upon myself under that identity that I did have, which was very much, well, if I'm not contributing on the food level, I must contribute elsewhere, because I couldn't just sit there and relax and totally enjoy this moment and just be. I chose to take up place in Cocktail Corner, and I said that I would make cocktails for the afternoon while they were cooking. Now, what's really interesting is at 55 years of age, I had never, ever made a cocktail in my life. Yes, I've consumed a few, but I'd never made them. So I checked in with the family, and it was French martinis and margaritas, which are pretty potent, low dilution of mixers and high alcohol. And I started to make these cocktails, and I love French martinis. So we were, I was churning them out at the same rate that they were making these beautiful meals. 3-course meal, 2 3-course meals by 2 teams, and I was a judge. Super cool. Everything was fabulous. The day went swimmingly, went to bed, woke up the next morning, and I'd also deferred my Saturday training run for Sunday, because it was like, no, I know what I'm doing here, and I'll just run on the Sunday rather than use that hour and a quarter that I wouldn't have been able to be with the family. I would use it on the Sunday. Well, I woke up with a pretty strong headache. And in the last 4 years, I don't know if other midlife women who are watching here actually know about this, but over the last 4 years, I've never been someone that ever had headaches, but certainly the headaches that I was starting to get would go from the back of my head right down the right-hand side through my rhomboids, so on the other side of my shoulder blades. And the only way I could really relieve them was to get Barry to get in there. And it was, like, to me, a really unusual headache. I sought pharmaceutical advice, and I would get them so ad hoc that there was thought that maybe they were hormonal headaches, whatever. I definitely was getting them after I'd overconsumed alcohol. So by Sunday lunchtime, the headaches were horrific. And I can't tell you how bad it is that I was taking things like Voltaren for it, and it still never helps. And so I then went for my run, right? So it was an hour and a quarter I had to run walk for. I think I managed 8.5 Ks. And by the end of that run, I can honestly tell you that I was in the pain, like in the hurt locker, not because I'd hurt myself, but my lack of energy and I was just so lethargic, and it was hell. Now, those of you will be going, yes, Bella, you overdid the cocktails, and hence this is the thing. So big deal. What the big learning about my biology over this last 12, 14 hours is that the piece of the biology that I had missed was the very fact that that particular headache line is very much linked to your liver and your gallbladder. So yes, that's under Chinese medicine, but even in conventional medicine, there's a lot of research on this, because I'm someone that never had headaches until this started appearing. Now, your livers are overloaded as a perimenopausal or menopausal woman, because we are processing lots of hormones that are coming back through our bodies in very sporadic manners. So when I sat down with Isabel and talked about this, what was very illuminating to me was that for the first time ever, I had an even bigger reason to look about my identity around alcohol. And what the big challenge for me about drinking and the ultra marathon lifestyle and how do I train as a midlife woman and enjoy it and have it all, was that my natural instinct had been all or nothing. So I've been through the process where I gave up alcohol for 100 days. I've thought seriously about never drinking again, because I am absolutely a binge drinker when I drink. But the thing that has absolutely been the aha moment for me around my identity is that I don't have to be all or nothing on this. Yes, I am training for an ultra, 84 kilometers, as I've said, and it's in 24 weeks from now. I don't have to give up alcohol to be able to train well and do this. What I have to give up is my identity around all or nothing. Because the thing you don't know is that I spoke to my running coach, Neil, only 2 weeks ago about how could I have alcohol and how could I use it as part of my life while I'm training for this ultra. And the interesting thing he said to me is, do you know your number? I said, what do you mean? He said, well, do you know how much alcohol you can have that then at the next morning, you know that you could wake up feeling well enough that you could train? Now, I navigated that 2 weeks ago super well, but to be fair, I forgot all about that when I had my family back around me. And it was, it was a very emotional weekend because it's the last time we'll all be together. We won't be all together for Christmas, won't be for a little while. And also it's a huge thing that our daughter has actually managed to achieve this. So under the whole banner of my biology of automaticity, I literally went into autopilot. I was I wasn't the one hosting by feeding everyone, but I hosted by giving them alcohol. And I literally threw everything out the window, and I probably drank my body weight in French martinis, which is why this morning, Tuesday morning, I have only just woken up without the after effects of this headache. So what has this got to do with my aha for you? What I want to bring it back to is about what part of your identity are you playing with if you wanted to take on your ultra, or even in your day-to-day life. Where are you navigating it with an all or nothing mindset? Because the evidence out there is all or nothing mindsets actually don't work long term. They eat away at willpower, and they create this resistance. Like if I was to say, that's it, I'm going to take out all alcohol, then that mindset, what does it want me doing? It will want me wanting it more because I've taken that away. That's another whole part of psychology. But I just want to share, this is the identity that I recognized I wanted to become by doing this ultra. I wanted to complete the 2023 Bali Hope Ultra joyfully with minimal pain and injury, knowing my body better than I have known it before, and able to attempt another event if I chose to in the future. That is my goal with the Bali Hope Ultra. That is the person that I was choosing to become by taking this on. And you don't get what you want in life, in my opinion, you get what you need. And the part of my getting to know my body better has been literally getting to understand how I need to support my liver by not having the levels of alcohol that I automatically would have when I celebrate, and not seeing that as taking away. What I now see this as, by actually navigating my alcohol consumption based on what my number is, and I now know, because like 2 weeks ago I did it well, 2 cocktails in one evening interspersed with beautiful spritzes and mocktails, that's my number. Because the very next day I was able to train, did an hour's run walk comfortably. So I know my body better now in this last week, better than I ever thought I would. And I also know that food-wise, I need to be very clever as a midlife woman, that I'm also wanting to support my liver because it's also processing hormones through this period. So where do I want you to take this information? Well, I want you to think about, in your life, where have you got an all or nothing mentality, that mindset? And if you have it, is it serving you? If it's serving you, great. If it's not, how do you remedy it? You start small. And you start small by working out what is the most successful thing you could do, that is the smallest thing you can do to get the biggest win. And for me, by getting to know my body better, by seeing now that I can have the cocktails, albeit a lot less than I have on Saturday, but still having them, I can then still have that beautiful time with my family. I can help celebrate, but I can also be out training and achieving something that is really, really important to me and to the children of Bali. So I hope this has resonated. As I said, 2 points or to my method that I was able to work on, cleaning up my crap about my identity of all or nothing and mastering my biology by getting to know it even better. It was a big week. And that's the cool thing about doing things like I'm doing, and for you to have a crack at doing your version of an ultra. You grow and learn and develop, and you actually learn a shit ton about yourself in the process. Okay, let me know, did this resonate? Okay, bye.